Hey, what's up guys? In this video, we're gonna take a look at the marketing system that this graphic t-shirt brand used to break past their glass ceiling, grow their sales 595% over the course of 4 years, and that brings in $300,000 plus a month for this brand founder. So a little bit about this brand. They started back in 2015, selling graphic tees mainly to moms, oftentimes leaning into kind of a humorous approach. They have some super catchy, super fun designs, and like most startups, they fought tooth and nail to get product market fit and just really get things off the ground. By 2019, they had a fairly established following with great engagement and sales traction, but were kind of plateaued out at around $48,000 a month. So in order to break past that plateau, we determined they needed a full funnel build out, primarily using Facebook and Google ads, as well as like a little bit of Pinterest and a super solid email nurturing system and retention system through Klaviyo. The campaigns and content have obviously evolved over the last 4 years, but in general, the strategy looked something like this. You know, we have our top of funnel campaigns really serving as that brand awareness layer. We had some warm layers that would really start to retarget those people who engaged with the first one. Then we have a hot layer that's just there to give them a first time offer. It's dynamic product ads, really convert them into a first time customer. And then finally, we have a retention layer to re-engage people who have already purchased at least once. Inside the ad account, we have a couple different top of funnel campaigns, again, some middle, and finally some campaigns dedicated to customer retention. Ideally, the account would be a little bit more consolidated than this, but this seems to work out okay considering that there's sufficient budget for each campaign, and it just kind of works the best due to the way that they do new collection drops and the way that we scale our evergreen efforts. This is the way we organize it best, and it seems to optimize and scale okay as well. So if I were to go into the ad set level and sift through all of these different campaigns, you would see all of these audience types either being tested or scaled. There would be broad targeting ad sets, interest-based or detailed targeting ad sets, engaged user retargeting, purchase lookalikes, and loyalty-based targeting. Across those 8 campaigns and these various audience types, they're spending about $76,000 a month currently. At the ad level, we can see that there's been over like 200 ad variations tested. So instead of going through all of those, I'll just show you the different formats that we've leaned into for this brand. And then we can take a closer look at some of the top performers, both for the last 30 days and even spanning across the last 365 days. So these ad formats have worked really well for this brand. It's just a lot of like lifestyle content, just product placement in lifestyle-based imagery. But you'll notice there's not really product feature ads, no pain point ads, and that's just because of the nature of the product and the brand itself. What you would see inside the ad account is a lot of DPAs, product highlight ads, some UGC, lots of lifestyle. There's gonna be some social proof based stuff, you know, testimonial comments, TikTok comment reply stuff. And then of course, big percentage sale announcements and UGC bestseller carousel. That's just where we're putting a ton of social proof into one ad to kind of create the sense that this brand is loved by everyone and worn everywhere. So top performing ad in the last 30 days is a DPA ad. This is coming from our bottom of funnel layer. And this is an ad that basically just shows you the exact item that you went and added into your cart, and it's gonna give you a reminder to go ahead and purchase that. Sometimes there's an offer in there, but this variation was like, hey, we've still got items in your cart, click the shop now button. So the CPM for this ad is $6.49. Click-through rate is 1.38%. Cost per click is pretty good at 47 cents per click. That's pretty good for retargeting stuff. And this ad in the last 30 days has generated 1,907 purchases. We spent $36,000 to do that, basically to bring in $115,000 from this one ad at a 3.2x return on ad spend. Top performing ad in the last year, the last 365 days, was a very similar ad, just a little bit of a different copy variation. You'll see the CPM is a little bit lower, right around $5. Click-through rate similar at 1.19%, cost per click 43 cents. But over the last year, this single ad has generated 13,064 purchases. And that's been running all year, obviously, because we like the results. We spent $242,000 on this one ad to bring in almost $1 million, so $962,000. Return on ad spend over that time period is a little bit better, 3.96x. Moving on to Google, we have 3 campaigns on Google: a Performance Max campaign at $455 a day, a branded search campaign at $130 a day, and a shopping campaign at $50 a day. Over the last 30 days, spend was like $12,300 to bring in 41.8K. So that's similar to Meta, like a 3.39x. I won't spend a ton of time here. We're doing a little bit of spend on Pinterest. You can see it's like $3,800 a month. Return is a little bit better. There's not a ton we can do there. I really prefer like the Meta and the Google platforms better. You can do a lot more there. But it's giving us kind of that omni-channel presence, just reminding people everywhere that this is a good brand that they should be checking out. And we're getting a little bit of sales from there as well. But in my mind, I just really like having the overall omnipresent brand awareness going on. The sales are just a cherry on top. Okay, so moving on to email and SMS. When we look at nurturing and retention, we've sent 18 campaigns, both email and SMS in the last 30 days. Mainly to a segment of engaged subscribers. If we look at their core flows inside of Klaviyo, you would see 11 core email flows, including all your standard ones. I'll actually show you kind of a map of what that looks like as opposed to this list view, because that gives you a little bit of a better sense of what's going on there. But 11 core email flows and 4 SMS flows. And then here's that map I was talking about, kind of a visual of what happens after somebody joins that list. There's several different things that are happening. There's a whole welcome series, there's site abandonment, browse abandonment, abandoned checkout, abandoned cart, as well as some post-purchase stuff, some list cleaning stuff. But this is just a pretty good map of what's going on with all of those email flows. So again, if we're looking at the last 30 days, we would see that 33.8% of their revenue did come from their email efforts. So that's, I guess 31% of that would come from those flows that I just mentioned. And 68% of that is just coming from the campaigns that we do. We don't typically send that much. That's almost like, I think that's a little bit more than every other day. A lot of times we're doing like once or twice a week, but for this brand, they have so many cool products that they're coming out with all the time that we just send a lot of campaigns to remind people of those or to inform people of those. Okay, so if we zoom out and we kind of look at the big picture results of this marketing system and we look at the last 30 days, we're gonna see $339,000 in Shopify. That came from $91,000 in ads, and that was spread across Meta, Google, Pinterest, and then there's not really ad spend with email and SMS, but that's a big part of the system, for a blended return of 3.78 return on ad spend. When I say blended, that just means all the ad spend compared to all the sales, because there is gonna be a little bit of like overlap between the different attribution windows. But basically what that means is Facebook is gonna say we got some of the same sales that Klaviyo did. And so looking at the overall blended return is a helpful way for brand founders to look at their numbers, just so that they can see, you know, even in their profit and loss statement, how much they're spending on ads versus their total sales. And then we kind of go into each platform to determine which one should get the most budget. So again, this is the marketing system that this graphic t-shirt brand really used to kind of get off a plateau that they had been sitting at for a few years. Over those 4 years that we've been working together, their sales are up 595%, which is super cool. And now the store consistently brings in $300,000 a month plus. If we were to rewind to the beginning of this year, their goal for 2023 was $3 million. So how we're tracking with that goal, basically it's early October and they're already 96% of the way of getting to that goal. It's barely the start of Q4, which is super awesome because that's where they get most of their sales anyways. and they just have a little bit more to surpass that $3 million goal. So they're going to pass it with flying colors. And yeah, I hope that was super helpful for you guys. If you have any questions or know of a better way to do this, or want to be the subject of one of our brand strategy audit videos, something like this, we'd love to hear from you. And then lastly, if you ever want a second set of eyes on what you're doing, or you want to work potentially directly with our team, we'd love to have a chat. The best way to go ahead and get that process started is just to go over to shopinova.com and book a call, and we'll see if we can help you out. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.